Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is May 6th, 2025. I believe this is episode 410 of Conspiracy Corner Podcast. As far as an update, today is pretty good, man. Okay. Normally I don't do like food reviews, but I do food reviews, but just a little intro, dude. I had Steak and Shake. The other day, my coworker wanted something to eat from Steak and Shake. Right next to where we work is a Steak and Shake. So, his mom, he's like, "Hey, Mom, can you get me something from Steak and Shake?" And I've known them forever. Like they're longtime friends, you know. Him and his mom and his I just met his dad like here recently, but yeah, I'm like a family friend for years, you know. And so she's like, "You want something?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And she's like, "Get something." And she kept insisting, so I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "Michael gets the garlic burger." She's like, "Do you like garlic?" I'm like, "Dude, I love garlic." She's like, "Okay, I'll get you the garlic burger." So she got me the garlic burger the other day, and I tried it for the first time the other day. Oh my God. It is fucking amazing. Like, they put like a butter and garlic seasoning on the bun, and then it's got, I'm pretty sure it's like a garlic aioli. I love garlic. If you ever have the chance to get it, dude, it is fucking awesome. So I ate one of those before work today. But yeah, it's a cooler day here in Kentucky. Me and Sammy went to a park today because we'd been wanting to go, but we'd been getting a lot of rain and stuff here in Kentucky. So I got up kind of early today and the weather was nice. I'm like, let's go to the park. It's called Mingo Park, Lake Mingo. So we went and checked it out. It was pretty. I liked it. There's ducks. Took some pictures, walked around it because they have a walking trail. Just kind of getting out, getting some fresh air, you know, spending time with the missus. It's better than just sitting around playing video games all day, as much as I've been enjoying playing Link's Awakening. I'm on dungeon number 7. 6 and 7, as far as dungeons, are frustrating as hell with this game, but I'm like so close to the end of it, so expect a video game review on it. I have 2 video game reviews over here I need to do in my notebook, and I'll get to them. But yeah, that's about it as far as updates, man. Just been chilling, enjoying life, you know. Let's get on with the show. Oh, I've been telling you guys, I wanted to, today's just going to be kind of random subjects, a little compilation free-for-all, a potluck. So I had my first, I think it's my first, because there's no other experience that ever stands out about this, about doppelgangers. But here's the thing. I know that if you see your own, supposedly it means that it's like a death omen, that like you could possibly die soon. It's supposed to be like really bad luck to see your own doppelganger. Hang on, something's going on. That's Nicholasville for you. Okay, that's a fly. I was worried for a second. I thought that was a bee. I know that when you see your own, it's supposed to be like a horrible bad omen. So I was driving to work, and my sister-in-law, Ashley, I won't tell her last name just so I don't dox her or nothing, which this isn't really that big of a channel anyways, so it's not like, I mean, it's whatever, but you know what I mean, just to be respectful. She recently had got a new vehicle, And I'm pretty bad. Well, I wouldn't say I'm bad. Like, my style of car is like older cars. I like I used to have like a 91 Grand Marquis. I just love like old, honestly, kind of like what old black dudes drive, you know. If I could have any car, if I was a billionaire or something, I would have a 57 Chevy, black, and I would drive it around like my normal car. So, I'm not really good with car names and stuff, because I just don't care about newer cars. If you've ever seen Sin City, I kind of remind myself of Marv, you know, like he hates new cars, you know, and I do too. I'm like, I remember being a little kid and like watching Christine and falling in love with like old 50s cars and shit, and talking to my dad, like, why did they stop with that body style? And I remember him saying, well, it's not as aerodynamic, and I'm like, yeah, but it looks cool. And he's like, yeah, it does look cool. And I'm like, they should have never stopped with that body style. And the thing is like, plastic is not an excuse. You could still do 50 style cars with a plastic body, you know. Because I mean, there's reinforced steel underneath, but you know what I'm saying, like the frame can still be plastic. Just cars look so stupid now, they look ugly as fuck. So I don't really keep up with modern cars and shit. Like, most cars, I don't know what they are. Like, if a crime ever happened to me and the police were like, what were they driving, I'd be like, I don't know, it was an SUV. Well, what brand was it? I don't know. I don't keep up with cars, dude. I drive a 97 Pontiac. Like, I like old school cars. And I've never really been like a big car guy. Like, as far as like, if there's like groups of guys sitting around, they'll be like, you know, oh yeah, I see this has got a twin six V4 with diesel hydraulics. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. Like, I know how to do basic shit on my car, but I can't sit there and talk cars with dudes, you know. Me and my wife, we go to car shows actually quite a bit, usually at least once or twice during the summers. And we'll go and look at the cars, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty, that looks cool, but we don't know what they are. We just like looking at old cars, you know. But and the reason why I bring that up is I don't know cars. So I was pulling into work, and I seen it looked exactly like my sister-in-law. Like, glasses, same face, same hair, you know, and was driving a white SUV. And I glanced at the front of the car, and I noticed it was a Chevy. I do know the Chevy emblem. And I pulled in, and I called my wife, and I'm like, hey, you're gonna get a visit from Ashley today, because she turned and was heading towards our house, you know. And she goes, oh really, you seen her? I said, yeah. What's she doing all the way over here? I said, I'm assuming she's coming to visit you and Mom, because they come by and visit every now and then. And she's like, well, she didn't text. And I'm like, well, text her, because I just seen her. I said, she's driving a white Chevy, you know, like SUV. Didn't they just get that? And she said, yeah. She said it's a Traverse. I said, well, it had to have been what it was, you know. And here in Kentucky, dude, like, it's a small world. Like, everybody knows everybody. You can't go 2 seconds without running into someone you know. So she called her sister, texted her, whatever. She's like, no, I'm in Rockcastle, which is like 3 hours away, you know. And she's like, that's weird. I don't know. It was just, I seen my sister-in-law's doppelganger. It looked exactly like her. And And that's why I know that it was like her doppelganger, because driving the exact same vehicle, looked exactly like her. And to me, what makes it believable was I don't know shit about cars. That's why I kind of went on that little rant about cars, because it's important to the story. I don't know brands very well. I don't know models very well. I just don't care about cars, you know? So when I seen this, I was like, Chevy, SUV, Chevy Traverse, you know? Yeah, that's my doppelganger story. I wish Ashley the best of luck. I hope this isn't a bad omen towards her. But it was fucking weird as hell, dude. That was, I think, probably my only really like doppelganger experience of seeing someone else's doppelganger. And I have listened to other accounts of people, like, it's not always seeing your own doppelganger. Sometimes it's you seeing other people's, you know. And I got to see my sister-in-law's doppelganger. It was fucking weird as hell. But yeah, let's get on with the next subject. So, I want to talk about this, and this isn't me bashing this dude's channel, because I actually do. I am a fan myself, and I actually watch him. I usually put him on, and this isn't an insult, but I usually put him on when I go to sleep and just kind of listen till I go to sleep, you know, just listening with my eyes closed. I think it's Donut Factory. It's not Donut Operator. I do like his channel too, but it's Donut Factory, I believe. It's, what up? It's Donut, you know. I do love his content, so it's not me bashing his content, or bashing him personally. So shout out to him. Go check his channel out. Tell him who sent you. Maybe he'll give me a shout out. But I found him through Sam Tripoli, which is how I find a lot of people, because I love listening to Sam Tripoli. He's my favorite podcaster and stuff. And this dude, I like his style, because when I listen to like conspiracy podcasts, I like listening to someone who's kind of goofy, has a sense of humor. I can't stand listening to these conspiracy channels that are like boring as fuck and have no sense of humor and everyone's evil and shit. Kind of like Truth Seeker. The guy has zero sense of humor and everyone is evil, you know? Oh, they're all Illuminati, you know? It's like, I can't stand listening to that shit. I need to listen to someone like level-headed. But so he was going into Healter Skelter and the symbol of X and stuff, and the swastika, and just going down a rabbit hole with Healter Skelter. And I had brought this up with the Klaus Schwab episode a couple episodes back. We were talking about Klaus Schwab stepping down. I think that's literally the episode title, is Klaus Schwab is stepping down and his replacement. Go check that episode out. I put out some important info that's going on, and I think we should pay attention. When the elites are moving chess pieces, we should probably pay attention. So go check that episode out if you haven't. World Economic Forum is doing some shady shit. And everyone in the conspiracy community was like, I thought Klaus Schwab was already stepping down. Mandela effect. I've noticed this trend with the conspiracy community that everything is a Mandela effect. Now look, I've talked about the Mandela effect tons of times on my channel. We've covered it, all sorts of jazz. I mean, hell, me and my wife, not boasting, but we even got put on like a actual big documentary about talking about the Mandela effect and shit with Wizard of Oz and some Wizard of Oz conspiracies and shit, which was pretty fucking cool. I do need to do like a watch along for the channel, because I still haven't seen it. I know about it, but I haven't seen it yet myself. But me and my wife were featured on a mainstream documentary, which was pretty cool. Not everything's Mandela effect, and it's driving me nuts, because I told people, like, no, Klaus Schwab did announce he's stepping down. He's just actually stepping down now. It's not a Mandela effect. It's nothing crazy. He did say it like a year ago. I reported on it. You can go check that episode out. It's not a Mandela effect. It just drives me nuts that everybody thinks everything is a Mandela effect when sometimes it is just misremembering, you know. Give me just a second. So, and the reason I bring this up, first of all, Donut Factory is an awesome researcher, but I do have to say, come on, bro, you lacked on this one, homie. He was talking about Healter Skelter, and he was reading, showing a picture, and it said Healter Skelter, and he's like, is this a Mandela effect? This is a Mandela effect. CERN's fucking around with Healter Skelter. And I'm like, it's not a fucking Mandela effect. And the only reason I know this is because I'm not gonna lie, dude. In high school, I had a unhealthy obsession with Charles Manson. I discovered him, honestly, just like most curious teens in high school, getting on the internet and looking up, I was just looking up like the most taboo, crazy shit that I could get my hands on, and I'd go on YouTube and watch hours and tons of interviews of Charles Manson, and I could see myself like falling in love with this dude, and god damn, my phone's blowing up. Hopefully it's still recording and not messing it up. There it goes. I could see myself falling in love with Charles Manson and his philosophies, and actually, like, if I was born during that era in that part of the United States, I could see myself would have fallen into the Manson family. I definitely would have. I'm not proud of it. It's just I was young and dumb. So I've read Helter Skelter, and I already know, before anyone says, oh, Helter Skelter's a horrible reference, so Bugliosi was a maniac and an idiot. He was. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on Vincent Bugliosi. He was a scumbag and a liar, you know, and honestly batshit crazy. Probably crazier and more evil than actually Manson. But I've read Helter Skelter like cover to cover like at least 3 or 4 times, because I was obsessed with this book. I was obsessed with Charles Manson. So I'm pretty knowledgeable on Charles Manson. During the Tate murder, the Sharon Tate murder, one of the girls wrote Healter Skelter on the wall, and even at the house, someone had written Healter Skelter on one of the doors at the actual Manson family household, Spawn Ranch. It's not a Mandela effect, because even Vincent pointed it out, like, why did they misspell it? His theory is that they were just loaded on LSD and just tripping balls. And I mean, think about the word heal too. Maybe like in their mind, who knows, dude, they could have been like, oh, we're healing the earth, you know. What we're doing is healing these people, you know. And another theory is too that honestly a lot of these people he was picking up to join the family were like homeless, like honestly like whores and shit, drug addicts, and just the scum of the earth, street urchins and castaways and misfits. Not trying to be mean, because I've felt in my life that I was this close multiple times to falling into becoming a street urchin. That's why my mother-in-law, we get in arguments, man. She'll bash on homeless people, and I'm like, I ain't cool with that. You don't know their story. And she's like, well, they can get a job. I'm like, hey mom, I was unemployed for like 2, almost 3 months looking and job hunting. You know how hard it is to get jobs. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah. When I left Kroger, aka got fired, it took me like 2.5 months to get a fucking job. Like, and the only reason I got the job that I have now is because I know the dude, because he used to work with me at Kroger. I got my foot in the door. If it wasn't for him, I would, hopefully not, but I'd still probably be unemployed, Yeah, it's not easy out there getting a job. So I'm not bashing street urchins, but that's what Charlie's crew mostly was just the misfits of Toy Island, and ooh, that was sorry. I just had some weird, creepy synchronicities from like high school. Just a little flash of like, I don't know, that was weird. But yeah, it's just, so most of those people sadly are uneducated. Like, a lot of them can't read, a lot of them can't spell, and it's not me making fun of them, it's just the truth. So like, that was the theory, was that these motherfuckers can't even spell Healter Skelter, yeah, either they were too drugged up and misspelling it, or they just couldn't read and write correctly. I mean, my mother-in-law's where I'm living right now, the people that were living there before us it was 2 street urchins, and the dude couldn't read or write. And I literally was going to volunteer my time of teaching him how to read and write using like Magic Treehouse book series, because I'm a big fan of it. And I was like, well, this is a good thing for him to start out on. Let's get him reading Magic Treehouse. It's easy, it's entertaining. Even as an adult, I still enjoy it. I read the whole series last year. I ain't ashamed of it. It's a good book series. But it's not a Mandela effect, dude. And it's just driving me nuts because I'm seeing it often with the conspiracy community. I believe that Mandela effect happened, but people keep coming out with videos like every other day, 5 new Mandela effects, and then you watch them and you're going, no, you're just misremembering that shit. It's like, I think the Mandela effect did happen, but it kind of stopped. I haven't noticed any new Mandela effects. I really haven't. If I did, I would have said something. I love watching those videos. It's entertaining, but like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm not noticing any new Mandela effects. That's just me, I think people are stretching and milking a dead cow with the whole Mandela effect shit. Like, I covered it like 2 or 3 times on my channel, and that was it. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say, I might go back to it maybe one day and talk more about it, because I like talking about classic old conspiracies. But people are beating a dead horse, dude. Like, I don't know. Not everything in the community is Mandela effect. I'm sorry, it's just not. Healter Skelter. It was a misspelling. It was written. I've read that book 3 or 4 times. I already know the whole story behind it. It's not a Mandela effect. So sorry, Donut Factory. I love you, but I don't know, man. Just don't jump to the woo-woo, Do your research on Charlie a little better. But let's get on with the last and final subject, I would think. I kind of want to talk about something that was brought to my attention through a channel, God Rules 2. I'm not sure if there's a number 1, but there is a God Rules 2, so go check his channel out. He's a Christian conspiracy theorist. I like him. He puts out a lot of good info, He gives me a lot of scoops, He was saying that there's something weird going on with China. And there is like tons of videos of people putting out videos of like bigger cities in China and stuff, and like it's like everyone has disappeared from these cities. Not everyone, but like a city that used to have hundreds of people walking around, it's like crickets, and they're filming and there's only like 10 people out. All these shops are closing down. Everyone's moving out of the big cities in China, but the question is where are all these people? Where are they disappearing to? So I want to talk about that a little bit, but I want to tell people, be real careful on the info that you get from China. So, and the reason I say this, what started COVID was all these videos of all these Chinese citizens just passing out in the streets and falling down, and it looked like they all were exposed to like fentanyl, you know, which, by the way, look into the fentanyl rabbit hole. Half of that shit's fucking fake. It's literally police faking shit and acting and putting it out there as propaganda. Police propaganda. The US has propaganda too. We all know that. So if the US has propaganda, I guarantee China has propaganda. Do not trust all these videos coming out of these empty cities in China, because I always think about what happened with COVID. We saw all these people passing out in the streets and dying, sudden deaths from COVID. And everyone was freaking out. They were going, look what's going on in China. Oh my God. Even in the truth community, everyone was freaking out. Oh my God, look what's going on in China. I think those videos were fake, dude, to freak us out, you know. Because I went through COVID just like you all. Do you guys remember seeing all these people just passing out on the streets like over in China? And Sam Tripoli, he's one of the only few podcasters who were bringing it up. I brought it up a couple times, but I was like, yeah, that's a good fucking point. We were shown all these videos of people just dropping dead like flies. That never happened here in the United States. It's almost like it was propaganda. And I don't trust China. I'm not, over here like some boomer and, Red Scare bullshit. Like, I genuinely have a genuine fear of China. So I don't know. Anything that comes out of there, I'm always like, But yeah, all these people are disappearing from cities. And I kind of wonder too, we only get a very small view of what happens in China. Like during COVID, they were locking people in their homes and people were dying from starvation and shit. Maybe that's where all the people went. Maybe they killed off a bunch of their fucking citizens during COVID, locking them in their homes and starving them to death. And there were people jumping out of apartment buildings, like windows and shit, committing suicide because they were trapped in their fucking homes. China's evil as fuck, dude. So I don't know, just be real careful about just be careful. Use dissemination, use your intuition. I got real weird feelings about all these cities that are going empty in China. I don't know what it means. Are they killing their citizens over there? Are the citizens moving? Is this propaganda, kind of like all the people falling dead? And I don't know, man, like the God Rules guy, I love him to death, but he was like, oh, they're just not making as much babies. And I'm like, I don't know, man. They had like the highest, I think them in India had like the highest amount of people in general. Their baby making machines over there, they had like the highest population rates. So something weird is going on. I'm not saying don't pay attention to it, but be careful what narrative you already start putting in your head. And honestly, you guys need to do that with any conspiracy. Even if I'm saying something wrong, or not wrong, but something you disagree with, like, point it out to me. Maybe I'm not seeing something from your perspective. You might bring up a good point and I might go, holy shit, I never thought of that theory, you know. But I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, that's it.